If you haven't been living under a stone, you know what's been happening in Eastern Europe with the Russia-Ukraine conflict, having deliberately stoked tension and violence in the Donbass region. Something Putin has been doing for years now. The troops are being ordered in as so-called peacekeepers in a move to help two self-declared independent republics. It's all bullshit, of course. It's an invasion, an annexation of Ukrainian territory. As you'd expect, widespread condemnation in Europe and further afield. A host of sanctions against Moscow are surely in the pipeline. The massive troop build-up, which has been swelling for weeks, serves both as a show of military muscle and a provocation to the West and leaders in Kiev. In those rebel-held areas, there has been an escalation of attacks on Ukrainian troops, provocations, trying to goad them into further conflict as it serves Putin's purposes. A lot of political theatre going on in the past couple of weeks. The meeting between the Russian and French presidents being one example, sitting at opposite ends of the table. The distance of the two men being symbolic, of course. Contrast this with Putin's meeting with Moscow stooge Lukashenko, where they're knee to knee, all buddy-buddy. Understand that oil prices are surging today as a direct result of goings-on in Eastern Europe. So, old Vladimir, with the attention of the world having been secured, did one of those dictator playbook moves in taking to television to air some historical grievances with the West and show his obsession with and contempt for the Ukraine as an independent state. Manufacture a crisis, ratchet things up, play the victim, keep making the same demands. Rollback of NATO with the Ukraine being debarred from ever joining. He has to know there isn't going to be a rollback, and the current leader of the Ukraine, Zelensky, who won the presidency in a landslide in 2019, he seems pretty keen on joining the military alliance. There are strong objections within NATO to this happening, though. Another piece of political theatre the other day, Russian Security Council meetings. I mean, here I am sat in Ireland. I don't know what's going on in the Ukraine in any detailed way. I don't really understand the culture or its history, but the picture being portrayed by the Russian government of an almost insane and corrupt regime there with nuclear weapons ambitions and genocidal intentions against Russian minorities in the country. It's crazy town propaganda, an aggressive unreality violently insisting upon itself. I actually work with a Ukrainian guy, barman, nice guy, very laid back. Doesn't seem particularly worried about the current situation. Yeah. You know, I wouldn't be so, but you know, that's just me if it was my country. An invasion of Kiev has been talked about, speculation of a possible encirclement. We can't be sure what Russia will exactly do next, but Kiev is vulnerable if you look at where it is geographically. Lots of Russian troops in Belarus near the border. Yeah, they didn't go home after the recent war games training. It's not just an oil price spike. looking at the news. Yeah, as you might expect, the ruble is plummeting. I was going to make a video on the crisis a week or two back, but I thought I'd wait a bit and watch reactions and developments. It's predictable and disappointing that we have a few talking heads on the progressive side of politics who are beholden to their audience, the audience they've built up, and they have to trot out the same tired, unthinking, anti-American, anti-Western talking points to keep those Patreon dollars rolling in. Even if doing so, they're sort of performing a watered down version of Kremlin propaganda. They really are. But anyway, let me know your thoughts below, folks, if you'd like, and I'll see you next time. Take it easy if you can.